Hello students. So in the previous class we were talking in the chapter that is sorting material into groups. And in this chapter students we discuss about the different kind of materials that why there is a need of the classification of the material, on what basis we have classified the material into groups, as well as we discussed that basically the classification has been done into two main groups, that is the living and the non-living object. And finally the living and that of the non-living is also further classified. Yesterday we has also discussed one more thing student, and that is an object and what is a material. So you see student, an object can be made up of more than one kind of a material. Same object or a different object can be made up of one kind of a material, or an object can be made up of a combination of the material. Okay. So you see students, by this we have discussed that if one object is there, this object can be made up of a lot of a different kind of a material. Okay, a material is used for making a different kind of a object. Okay. And object is also made up of a combination of materials. Okay, so different types of material can be formed by this. Object can be made up of a combination of the material. Now let us discuss about the properties of the material. Okay, so we have discussed that the material and what is an object. Let me remind you again the definition of the material student. The definition of a matter first, that anything which occupies space and which has mass is known as a matter, and an object is made up of a matter. Okay, so we can say that different matters together collectively they made that of the object. Okay, so material, they are useful in making that of the object. These material help in making the object. Okay, so this is the object which help in making the different kind of a material. Material is there which help in making different kind of a object, you can say, and the object can be made up of a combination of one or more material. Likewise students, we had discussed, if suppose we are preparing tea. Okay, so tea is made up of tea leaves, tea is made up of a milk, water is there, there is a need of a sugar also. So all these are what? These are the different kind of a material, and when they combine together they form the object. Okay, so this is that of the object and material. Now let us discuss about the properties of the material. Properties of the material students. Now see, we use a different kind of a material for making an object, and all the material they are having a different kind of a properties, and that is why they are used in making a different kind of a object. Likewise students, you see, if we talk gold, so gold is what? It is a metal, and this gold is having a property that it is shiny in appearance. So since it is shiny in appearance students, that is why we can say that it is used for a purpose in which should be a kind of a decorative thing. Okay, because it will give luster to an object. Luster is what? It means a shining appearance, and that is why gold is used for making ornaments. Okay, so we can say that is why it is used in making ornaments. Okay, now if we talk about the bricks, so you see student, bricks are what? They are hard, they are solid. Okay, so they are having property that they are hard and solid, and because of that student, they are also used up in making the home, okay, or in the construction of the houses. Okay, so if we talk about the bricks students, so bricks are what? They are hard, they are solid, and that is why they are used for the construction purpose. Okay, likewise student, if we talk about the tumbler, so basically you see that we used to make tumbler of a plastic or of a steel. Why is it so? Because they are having the capacity to hold anything. Okay, so we can say that a tumbler, they are having a property. It is made up of a steel, it is made up of a glass, as well as it is made up of a plastics. Why? Because it is having the tendency to hold anything. Tendency to hold object, that is by because we use the conductor. Like students, you see copper. So copper, it is hard. Okay, it is shiny. It means it is also having luster. Okay, as well as it is a good conductor. Okay, so you see student, it is hard, it is having luster, and it is good conductor. That is why we use it for making utensils, coins, and electric wire. Okay. Okay, and that is why we use it for making the utensils, making coins, and that of the electric wire. So you can see by all these things students that these materials, they are basically made up of these objects, they are made up of different kind of materials, and these materials, since they are having some properties, and because of that they are used for making that particular object. Okay, so if it is of a good conductor, and that is why it is used for making the electric wire, so that the electrons can flow easily in it, right? So wires are there, these wires help in the conduction of the current from it. Okay, so tumbler is there, copper is there, which help in the conduction of the wire, conduction of the electricity from it. Now on this basis student, we have divided the materials, or we can say on the basis of their properties, we have classified the materials. Okay, so we can say that on the basis of materials, on the basis of its property. Properties. Okay, and what are these different properties, students? So the first one is appearance. Appearance, it means it can be shiny or it can be dull. Okay, so it can be shiny student or it can be dull, that will be the appearance. The second one is the hardness. Okay, so hardness or softness. Whether the object is hard, whether the object is soft. This will also decide on the basis of the property of the material. Okay, if it is hard, then we have to make that kind of an object which is having the capacity, which is used for a purpose where the strength really matters. Okay, and otherwise the soft one. Okay, then it is also used. The next property is on the basis of the solubility or insolubility. Solubility and insolubility. In case of the solubility and insolubility, students, so we have to see that whether the object is soluble or it is insoluble. Okay. Then fourth one is, then we will look after the heaviness or the lightness. Heaviness or lightness. Whether the given object is a heavy one or it is the lighter one. Okay, if it is heavy, then it is used for a purpose. If it is a lighter one, then it is used for the other kind of a purpose. Then fifth one is transparency, translucent, opaque. Okay, so whether the given object appears, whether the object is transparent, whether the object is translucent or it is opaque in nature. Okay, so all these things really matter. These are the different properties on the basis of which we decide that okay, this object should be made with this material, because we have to make the object like this, or we have to add such kind of a material which shows such kind of a property or the respective property. Okay, let us discuss one by one each of them. So the first one is the classification of the material on the basis of their appearance. So you see, student, classification of materials on the basis of appearance. Classification of the object on the basis of appearance. It means we have to see that the whether object is having luster, whether it is shining in appearance or not. So you see, student, if suppose you see an object and you find that object is very shining, is very bright, okay, or is having a luster, then we will classify them. Okay, this is since it is having the shining appearance, so we can use it for the one purpose. Or there are the objects which do not shine or which do not having the shiny appearance, and this kind of object we will say that they are dull in appearance. Okay, so actually the materials which is involved in making that particular object depends that whether that the materials were shiny or the materials were dull. Because of that only this seems that the particular object is the shiny or dull. So whatever the kind of a material you have taken, that whether the material is the shining one or it is having a kind of a luster, decides that the object how does it appears. Okay, so we can write it that on the basis of that we can divide it into two: the materials having luster having luster or shiny. In appearance, shiny appearance, and the second one is the materials having no luster or dull appearance. Okay, so material can have luster, material cannot have any kind of a luster in it. Now you see student, those materials which are having shiny appearance, they are known as a luster, and the material which do not have a shining appearance, they are known as a non-shining or a non-lustrous. Example of the luster material are gold, silver, diamond is there, then iron, copper, aluminium. All these are what? These are the different kind of metal students which are having a shiny appearance or which are having a luster in it. Okay. So when you take a freshly cut gold or when you take a freshly cut diamond, then what will happen? You will see that when you take that new utensils, then you will find that it is very shiny. If it is made up of copper and iron also, it seems very shiny in appearance. Later on, due to oxidation process, it will become dull. But when you buy it, at that time it was very shiny in appearance. You see student, if we talk about the gold, if we talk about the silver and the diamond, because of its luster, because of its shining appearance, they are used in making ornaments. Okay, you know that ornaments, it means jewelry. You know that the women, they used to wear these ornaments, these jewelry which is made up of gold, silver or diamond. So we can write it that because of shiny appearance, these metals, especially if we talk about gold, silver, aluminium, gold, silver and diamond, used in making ornaments, which is also known as a jewelry. Okay, so it is used for making ornaments, students. Why is this so? Because they are having the shiny appearance. Now you see students, since it is having the property in which it used to shine, and that is why it is used for making the ornaments or it is used for making the jewelries, right? So it is having the property of a luster, it is having the property of a shiny. That is why it is used in making that kind of an object which is used for the show off and all. Okay, so even the glasses also, student, glass bowls these days you see, they are also having a shining appearance and they are also used in making the utensils. Okay, so even if you see the utensils, they are also shining in appearance. But most probably gold, silver, diamond, they are used for preparing the ornaments. Now, we will move to the next one, and that is the material which is having a dull appearance. Okay. So, those materials which is having no luster is dull in appearance. Okay, and they are used for many things. Okay, so other material or other objects which is made by the non-lustrous material, it can be anything. Okay, so examples, a lot of them are there. Chalk is there, student. Coal is there. Graphite is there. Okay. Wood is there. Paper is there. Paper is there. Then cardboard is there, etc. All these things are having no luster at all, and that is why they are used for making the objects which do not have such kind of appearance. So this is for the first one, students. Okay. Now, if the question is like that you have to find a question on the basis of this classification is like that is find out odd one out of the following. Okay, so let me write it. It can be aluminium, then iron, copper, sand, paper, silver. Okay. So if the question is like that, students, that out of these objects, okay, these objects are given here, and you have to find that out of this, which one is the odd one, and for that what you have to do is, which one is the odd one? What will be your answer? Your answer will be that sand will be the odd one object. Why is this so, students? Because aluminium, iron, copper and silver. Don't think that it is only the metal and that is why it is the odd one, but actually they are shining in appearance also. That is why we can say that the sand, since it do not possess any kind of a luster, it do not having the shining appearance, and that is why sand will be the odd one. Okay, which should be moved out. Okay. Now, if the question is not like that, but the question is that you have to find out the lustrous and non-lustrous material. Lustrous and non-lustrous material. Again, the examples are given as iron, aluminium, pencil is there, student, paper is there, okay, stone is there, gold. Now you have to find that which one is the lustrous one and which one is the non-lustrous one. So how will you come to find it, students? So you see which one is the lustrous one? Iron, lustrous. Then aluminium, it is also lustrous. Pencil, it is a non-lustrous. Paper, it is also non-lustrous. Stone, it is also a non-lustrous. Gold, it is a lustrous. So how will you write it in the copy? If suppose the question will be like that, student, then you will write it like You will write it lustrous. Okay, so lustrous, it will be iron, aluminium, then gold. Okay, and non-lustrous. It will be pencil and paper. Okay, so iron is there, aluminium is there, gold is there. These are what? These are having luster, so they are known as a lustrous material. And pencil is there, paper is there, they are known as a non-lustrous material. So this is the classification on the basis of a lustrous and a non-lustrous material. Now the next classification is on the basis of the hardness and softness of the object. Okay, now on the basis of the hardness and softness. Okay, so how students, you see, if suppose you take a stone, okay, and you try to compress the stone with your hand, is it possible for you to compress it very easily? You will say no. But if you take a sponge, or if you take a teddy bear which is consisting of a cotton in it, then, or a cushion which is having the foam in it or cotton in it, then is it possible for you to press it? Okay, is it possible for you to compress it, student? Yes. Why is it so? Because the previous one, that is the stone or the brick that you have taken, it is hard in nature, it is having the property of a hardness, while the other one is having the property of a softness. So one is the hard material and the another one is the soft material. Okay, so we can say that those objects, those material which compressed easily, is known as a hard material. Okay, and the property which is shown by them hardness. Now, if we talk about the soft material, students, so the material which can be compressed easily. Let us take an example of the hard material, students. So there are a lot like that of a diamond or a steel. Iron is there. So iron, steel, brick, copper, aluminium, diamond. We can say that even that diamond is the most hard one or the hardest substance till that we know. Okay, so it is the hardest natural material known, that is diamond. So diamond is the hardest natural material. Okay, it is the hardest natural material that we know. So this is about that also. Even if you see in our body, students, so in our body, our bones, they are very hard. Even our teeth, which is made up of a calcium, they are the hard one. And it is because of the hardness of the bones and the teeth, we are able to stand properly, or we are able to cut anything. Okay, so we can say that teeth, bones are the part of the body which is the hard one. Okay, or hard. Okay, it is the hard. Okay, so teeth is there, bones are there, they are the part of the body which is the which gives the strength to us, or which we can say is the hard one. So this is about the hardness of students. So the material which cannot be compressed easily, we will say that is the hard material. Okay.